Hello, Fire and Ice Tubers. Oop. And welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy 1 Randomized with me, BlueAnkylo. Last episode we did the Earth Cave, and that's pretty much it, I guess, really. Not much else to say. Been doing a little bit of cruising around the world map, just shopping and all that. Today we start off with Gurgu, or however you want to say it, Volcano, which is the second fiendish dungeon, and maybe you can guess what element it is. Now, usually I would skip all of these rooms, as always, and just go straight to the boss, pretty much, or straight to the good treasure, anyway. But seeing as we're playing the Randomizer, it's only fair that we fully explore and fight the terrible birds that usually can one-shot kill you. But maybe not in the Randomizer. And not if they don't get a turn. So yeah, anyway, welcome back, everybody. Let's try a new strategy. Let's use Fire 2 Staff for everybody, see what happens. Speed that up a little bit. About 50 to 100 damage, give or take, times 4. It's not bad. It probably wouldn't work very good against these guys. But they're pretty tough anyway. Although their actual physical hits here are less than I remember. It could be that they got bad luck on the Randomizer, so they're doing less... Maybe they have less physical power than usual. But usually the elementals, all 4 elementals, type enemies, they actually generally have really high attack power, so... Wow, random encounters much, eh? Good thing we've got super speed. Sometimes I'm too fast for my own good. Alright, double fire elemental. Now, in the original game, unless they've changed it, they're actually not weak to ice. I think they may have changed it. 188 is pretty good for ice, too. In the base game, I think it may have been a glitch that they were strong to fire and ice, even though they should have been weak to one element, I think. I could be wrong. I look at it as a bug, but I think it's one of those things where it's like, in the manual, like, there's a cool fold-out chart for the game that came in the manual. Like, it was a big... oh, geez, it was pretty big, like, couple feet by couple feet wide with every enemy in the game, all their stats and weaknesses and stuff on it. It's pretty cool, right? I believe that's where I'm saying the typos came from. If it said that they were weak to ice on that, but then in the game they were not, that's kind of what I mean. Like, maybe they weren't meant to be weak to ice, but they were on the guides, so. Man, I miss those days. I wish I still had that chart. I had to end up, like, I had it for so long that it, it basically started to rip and fall apart. I had to tape it back together and all. Alright, these guys, XPs... You know what? They get a nuke. They get a nuke. You get a nuke, everybody gets a nuke. These guys are always a good benchmark for how overleveled you are. If they run away, you're probably too high a level. Because they run away pretty easily. They have low, whatever stat the game calls it, but they have like a morale stat that's based on the enemy versus your character level or your highest level in your party or something like that. And PPeZZA are one of the enemies that runs away very easily. Some enemies, like, basically never run away, but some of them are like, oh, you're one level too high, I'm out of here. And the fact that they're not running away tells me, basically, that we're not grinding too much, which is nice. And probably expected, given the nuking. They should run away if they knew it was really coming for them. So far, nothing good from the loot, but here's the big treasure room, so you never know. Argoyles? How come nobody... Argoyle. It's an Argoyle. I stepped right into this fight just because I knew I would. I could have avoided this double fire fight, but it's fine. They're doing acceptable amounts of damage. Not as much as I usually remember, but I bet you they're a little bit weaker in this Randomizer seed. They probably have slightly less physical attack than usual, because I'm sure I remember them hitting harder than that as a default. It's really hard to know for sure, because there's a lot of random variation. Age of Shield is nice, but I already got one. But yeah, because of the way the Randomizer works, you often end up with different equipment than what you would usually have for this point in the game. So not only are your stats different, but so are the enemies. So it's kind of difficult to tell if you're actually doing more, or if they're doing more or less damage than typical. they'll have different HP totals and theoretically different... they're actually sleep. You know, that's a lot better than squint. Interesting. Yeah, those Paralisks usually were the bane of my life because they just instant death you. And I was a little bit worried because traditionally I bring a bunch of protect rings here before I come here, and then the Paralisks can't really do anything. But we didn't have access to them for this attempt. Anyway, what was I saying? Something about stats? Just, you know what I mean. Like, because both sides of the equation are different, it's hard to tell for sure which one's better or lower or by how much. Let's do some heal 2s. Tier 1 slot. Recovers, I think, 40 or 50 HP to the whole team, give or take. Per cast. Something like that. I forget the exact number, but... I think they're also strong to fire, but not strong enough because they're birds with hollow bones, so it doesn't help them. Wow, we're getting a lot of these. This is like usually the stuff of nightmares in a normal run. You get this many Paralisks, or you get like a 9 Paralisk attack and monster strikes first. Everyone just has a heart attack, basically. Wooden staff, awesome loot. Hopefully this explains why usually you just avoid all the treasure chests that you know are garbage, because that's what you get in most of them. Alright, just normal bulls. They should rename them to bullies, and then give them some really trollish attack. Bunch of paralyze all, like the Mind Flayer's stun everyone attack. That'd be perfect. I mean, terrible, but... let's heal up Black Mage a little bit. Mostly keep the weakest characters from dying is the point. Alright, and drop some junk here because... picked up a lot of stuff. Now the wall sword, the Wally sword, that's actually not bad. It's probably... what weapon is that copying? I'm trying to think what the base would be. What sword would be magic on use? We already have the defense, I believe. Usually casts ruse. What other sword is... Oh, it's probably the Bane sword. Usually it has the Bane spell. It's actually not a bad weapon, but it's nothing compared to these two. Okay, oh yeah, I was going to check after we got a couple levels up. So 105 accuracy. Yeah, I betcha the Sun Sword is slightly better DPS now. Did you see that little glitch with the door? That's, I think, introduced by the Randomizer. Oh good, we got the chimes. That's a key event item. We needed that for one of the final dungeons. Hey, we got one! Alright, well this goes primarily to the White Mage. So at least now she is protected from instant death. She's got both the ribbon and the protect ring. She's got lots of absorption and should be immune to all status effects. So at the very least, she'll survive and then she can revive everyone else. If I'm lucky, I'll get a couple more protect rings, but, you know, we'll see. We got lots of dungeons to do, so we got lots of chances. Took some damage there. Alright, let's use one of our Cure 4s. Full HP. Yeah, those worms hit pretty hard. So that's an Opal Gauntlet. I guess if it's worth selling, it's better than a Silver Shield. We're not going to play a whole lot of Skyrim value what's worth the most to sell later on. The truth is, other than a few more spells, there's not much to buy that costs anything anymore. There's not much left we need money for. And we'll get enough from fighting anyway, right? So. Grey Worms. Maybe he just got a lucky crit, who knows. Opal Helmet. I've already got one, nobody else can use it. Darn. Slow 2, that's another black shirt. Unfortunately, we don't need any more. Quit giving me that stuff. Give me more protect rings and ribbons. They're giving me like the relatively rare or incredibly rare wizard items or wizard armor, but all I really want is the rings and capes and stuff. Alright, can we do some heal 2s. Everyone's looking a little bit injured, but we're almost done the dungeon. So I've got to remember we got the chime. But that doesn't really open up too much for us just yet. But keeps me on track for key items we need to pick up before we can finish the game. Hey, look! A whole bunch of wizard ogres, whiz ogres, and Georges. Now, normally they can't stun you, so that's a new special effect from one of them, the Paralyze spell. Wizard ogres do get a fair number of spells, but usually not Paralyze. Alright, Red Dragon, go! You know, he's kind of like a mini-boss, but I'm not terribly scared of him. He's got a Gaze Paralyze as well. He put up a pretty good fight, but if he didn't use any, that's good. We'll need that as well. So that's another key item there. We're just going to let that out. Poof, fairy is gone. We'll deal with that after this dungeon's over. Good. Alright, let's heal up a little bit more. Just like the music sounds. And let's go wrap this dungeon up. Hey, it randomized right back to the music we started the episode with. That wasn't even me. Wait, did that instant death the Black Mage, or did I just not pay attention? Well, luckily we've got stuff like Life 2. We're getting kind of bogged down here with random encounters every step. Alright, let's get out of here. When you're walking on the fire, you take damage every step, but at least you don't have to do random encounters. Alright, here we go. Let's fully heal up. We'll use some potions again, just to... I don't know why I say that. I've got lots. Use a couple Cure 2s if you need them. Everyone's good. Alright, so let's change music again. This time we'll go for the other type of boss battle. And... Carry. We'll show you the force of fire. You guys ready for this? We should use some magic. If we had anti-fire... Well, actually, I don't even know if she has fire magic, to be honest. I don't know. Could try to reduce her elemental protection. Probably won't work. Let's at least put fast on the fighter. At least do one buff. $165 damage isn't that much. Normally she wouldn't have a poison attack either. So Exfer did not work, as I would expect. And, you know, might as well go with Old Faithful here. Luckily, the poison effect does so little damage, you can mostly ignore it. And Nuke is... I mean, this is what we should always be using, really, but... I wanted to try some other strategy. Ooh, 300 damage. Not bad. Any other strategies? We could fast up the Red Mage. We could have him saber and fast and do maximum damage, but it takes so long to buff up, it wouldn't really matter. Let's try some fading and more nuking. Oops, I meant nuke. You might think she's weak to ice, but she shouldn't be. Oh. Hey! Another boss down. Normally she has 600 HP, but I don't know in the randomizer. Okay, so the big gains were another orb, and we picked up a chime and a bottle, and the bottle we opened and a fairy flew away, so let's go deal with that quickly. So you head all the way up to the Gaia town. I could probably buy some more heal potions too, seeing as I used a bunch. I meant to enter the shop, can't you tell? Alright, 91 heal potions. We should be fine. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Perfect music for zooming around. Hey, take this bridge! Oh, that's really valuable. Thank you. That's not the Oxyale I was expecting. So all that's going to do is just tie up a loose end, basically. So now the bridge is here. Yay! Everyone can walk across the bridge. Too bad we already had the prologue theme beaten into us. Alright, what's next then? Maybe heal up, and probably go to the ice cave? Maybe sell some armor and stuff just to make space. So I have 2 Aegis shields, sadly, that we can't equip. It would be awesome if the Red Wizard could equip them, but there's just no way. Alright, goodbye Aegis shields. I'm definitely not selling that 1 Protect Ring we've got. I'm just gonna sell the armor. It might be the only one in the game, but Quake is not that good. And I'd rather have the inventory space and the money. And we don't need the brace, the opal gauntlets, and the fighter's fine. So I'm gonna hold on to the wall sword, the defense style blade, and all the rest of that stuff. I'm not gonna hold on to the stop axe or the silver dagger, and I'm not gonna hold on to a spare dragon sword. All right, just make sure we've got enough inventory. The wall sword is neat at least because that gives us another way to buff people to protect them from elements. Normally you would not get an on-use item for the wall spell, so that's a pretty good catch. So now that we've got a little bit more money, let's go magic shopping quickly. And then we'll go to the Ice Cave, which is everyone's favorite dungeon. So I bought Life, I bought Wall. That's all there is there. Oh yeah, but I was going to buy Life 2 for the Red Wiz. There you go. It's good. It's a good spell. You can't use it in battle, I don't think, but out of battle, full heal from death, not bad. Could have bought him Quake. Yeah, there's no good level 5 magic for him, was there? Can he learn Wall? Nice. So we've actually got 3 people that can get Wall cast, basically. Not bad, not bad. Invisibility is okay. It buffs the whole team's evasion, but not that amazing. Right. Yeah, most of the rest of the spells are useless. I say useless. It's, you know, it's possible in the randomizer they're actually not completely trash. I just remember them in the base game as never being worth it. So I'm sorry if it's someone's favorite spell. A lot of money for not much value, but I'll pick it up. It's not final boss time. We'll save that for later. Mute is mostly useless. It does work on Astos, but probably nothing else that's a boss. Let's waste all of our money and get a high level... Right, you can't even learn Fire 2. Pathetic Red Wizard. Well, there's only one more magic shop to check that I forgot to check. I probably don't have enough money anyway. Yeah, when you have 3 wizards, the level 7 and 8 magic is probably the biggest money sink in the game. Anti-lightning we might want. Maybe. Lightning 3, I guess, is okay. The Red Wizard won't be able to learn any level 8 magic, so... Alright, that's done. Let's do one more dungeon today for this episode. We're making pretty good progress, but, you know, we've been nuking everything for a while now, so shouldn't be slowing us down much. Let's get rid of that tent, and it saves it. And we're in pretty good shape. Still not a very high level all in all, but good enough for the Ice Cave, I think. So these guys are... These are the enemies that you can never run from, which is kind of annoying. I wonder if 4 castings of free Fire 2 would kill them. It might. We're averaging about 20 damage per cast, times 4 is about 80. That should generally kill all of them. We obviously can do quite a lot of physical damage at this point in the game with, at the very least, Fighter, but... In Black Mage has Cat Claw, he shouldn't be terrible. Right? Like, what's his physical? 29... Well, once he can get his hit percent up to 66, then he'll get 3 attacks. That'll help. Now, the Ice Cave is notorious for really difficult random encounters. Because of the randomizer, they may be better or worse than usual. But a lot of times you get stun locked down here in battles you can't run from, especially on solo challenges. It's kind of a real pain for those. But with a full team, it's usually not that bad. So if you pay attention, you can see kind of the elemental protections we had there. The Red Mage is taking, or the Red Wizard that is taking a ton of damage from magic, basically. I'm just gonna nuke him. But yeah, you can see the fighter and the white mage specifically took a lot less lightning damage than anyone else. And I think the black mage probably has good enough magic resistance that he takes half damage most of the time. Although I might check that. How is magic defense 64? 64. Oh. Wow. The knight has the most magic defense? I don't understand. At least we get some good poppin' combat music in here. Well, those chests were garbage. This is a good time for fires. Yeah, even one of those is basically enough. That's why I spent my money on them. Okay, let's try Cure 2. Just burn these spell slots. Get him out of the way. Probably wouldn't use Life 1 very often. We've got access to Life 2. Alright, good enough for now. So we're going to go left. Usually you would skip this as well because white dragons are kind of scary, but we'll see. Not too bad. A cabin and some money, and we have to fight him again. No damage. Alright, sometimes you can fight 2 at a time instead of 1 at a time. Now, Frost Wolves, just in my limited amount of experience in this randomizer, are some of the most dangerous low-level or medium-level enemies you'll find. And it's because they often get special attacks, and if the special attacks get re-rolled into a very powerful spell, you can fight a group of 9 of them that all learn, well, theoretically up to stuff like Nuke. So, you know, you might have a bad day if they all happen to... If you had 9 Frost Wolves that all learn Nuke, you probably would not survive that encounter. Or, like the nuclear attack from the War Mech. Like, I don't know if that's even possible, but I bet you it is. That'd be pretty terrible. Funny, hilarious, and honestly, my just desserts for using Nuke all game. So if we don't run into some nuclear spamming enemy group by the end of the game, I'll be disappointed. Hey, 2 of these, excellent. I'm gonna give this one, although the white mage could go for her maximum protection. That gets your white mage to the absolute best stats you can get for absorb and evasion. But I'm gonna actually give that to the red mage because he's taking more hits and has weaker protection in general. So that got him from... Actually, you know what? Change of plans. We're going to treat the white mage as my precious, but because she's way more protected against everything, I'm going to reorder them. We'll put the white mage second, and with her 51 absorb, she's not too far behind the knight, and she's way ahead of the red whiz. Heck, even... What? Why? Oh, right, the extra protect cape on the black mage is keeping him ahead of the red mage. Yeah, that's fine. Anyway, the white mage is pretty well protected, so she can take a few more hits. She has more HP than the red wizard anyway, so it's probably not that bad an idea. Wear sword, another one of those special elements. This is the fight I was worried about. Now, they should still be weak to fire. They're probably more weak to being nuked, though, so let's just go with that. And I've been using my red mage as more of a nuker sort of offensive caster anyway, so having him in the back with the black mage makes some sense. So we got a little bit lucky. We managed to get a turn off and cast nuke before they cast any spells. I'm curious if they have any really dangerous ones. I think my previous run where I was testing stuff out in the randomizer, the Frost Wolves were really bad. Like, I think they had Lightning 3, and we did not have full elemental protection, and like, they got like a chance to strike first on this tile where I'm gonna do it one more time, just to see. I really want to. I'm curious. I'm poking the tiger here. I just want to see if they have any spells that are super strong. We're not going to see it again. Oh well. Anyway, be careful with enemies like that come in large groups and can learn magic. That's definitely one of the more dangerous types of encounters in the randomizer, even if today they were kind of slow and boring. Ice sword. Again, another group that's probably worth spell spamming here. I mean, 1 fire 2 cast killed the whole group, right? Alright, the My order of attackers has changed. I'm used to having the red wizard get a kill. Alright. Well, you know what wizards don't know how to deal with? They don't know how to handle being nuked. Oh, they're right. They're poisonous wizards. I remember that. We saw that before. Right. Almost done the ice cave now. Giving everyone a Fire 2 staff is pretty strong, but just imagine, the best case scenario, you'd be able to buy like a nuke staff and just buy enough for the whole group. That would be possible in the randomizer, and that would be so ridiculous. You just do 4 nukes every turn for free. Oh, that's good luck. Alright, alright. I'll take that. I'm gonna give it to the red mage first, because he's also got the ability to resurrect people with life spells and stuff like that. So you want primarily the white mage and then the red mage, and then if we get another one, we'll give it to the black mage. But that's not bad. I mean, we've got 2 protect rings. I was worried we weren't going to get any because we couldn't buy them, but 2 is better than 0. We've got 2 protect capes, and it's possible they provide the same instant death protection, but I don't know. Unfortunately, our fighter is missing that kind of thing. I mean, he's got some protection, but I don't know enough about all the behind the scenes. Oh, shoot! I forgot I had super speed on. Well, that's a common mistake for me when I'm playing a fast forward. That was the final chest in the dungeon right there, and I totally mixed it. Well, serves me right. Usually you have to do this path twice anyway, because you get the chest, and then you have to drop down and go back through this path to get out of the dungeon. If you don't have the exit spell, that stairs in the top right, that's your way out. For me, though, we've got an easier way out. So another mini-boss that I'm really not worried about at all. Disrespect. And we get the herb. Alright, well, it's part of the quest chain, so it's better than nothing. But yeah, you know, normally you have to fight through all this. But we have access to exit already, so there you go. Much faster. Okay, well, since we got the herb, at the very least, we should go turn that in. Finally, wake up these lazy elves. Give him to his assistant. And hooray! The Mazimune. Nice! Yeah, what was he doing holding on to the Mazimune? And he's back to sleep anyway. Well, that's the best weapon in the game. Anyone can equip it is the trick. So it has the best stats, critical and damage and hit rate and everything. But I'm not... See, the fighter will get a really powerful sword as long as we finish his quest. The red mage with the sun sword is pretty good, and the black mage with the cat claw is pretty good. So I'm actually going to give it to the white wizard. This is what I usually do with this party, because this puts the white wizard into pretty strong physical attacks. 65 damage is nothing to wink at, or, you know, words. It's more damage per hit than the knight, but she'd only gets 3 attacks per round. She'll probably get up to 4 attacks per round if we level her up enough, but 3 times 65 is pretty good anyway. I mean, yes, if you stack damages, the fighter would just ridiculously high amounts, but I think you get more value out of it on a non-fighter, because he's going to get pretty good swords anyway. The red wizard would be an okay option. But these 2 can cast Nuke, and now we've got the other 2 characters that don't nuke that can just do a nice strong physical. I almost always end up giving the Mazimune to the white wizard, honestly. Like, 90% of the time. Okay, let's clear up some inventory. I guess all of the fighters' weapons are fine. We're going to eventually replace that sun sword, but not for a while. Ice sword's garbage. Wear sword's garbage. We can't even use the katana. Silver hammer's no good. Alright. Got a bit of money. We've got nothing to sell for armor either. Alright, well. So, what do we got left? So, we actually only have 1 dungeon we can go to at this point, given the way our game has gone. Normally, after the ice... Actually, no, there's just a couple dungeons we could do. So normally, the next Fiend dungeon would be the water one. But I went completely the wrong way and got lost. That happens. But if I can find my way over here, we don't actually have the the ability to do the underwater area because we can't breathe underwater. So then the other one we could try is this one, which we can enter because we have the chime. But that's forgetting that now that I've done the ice cave, normally you would have access to the airship, and that normally unlocks 2 more dungeons, namely the Castle of Ordeals and also the waterfall. I know I could have done these earlier, but I saved them because I was trying to do them kind of in order. I generally would say the waterfall is the easier of the 2. Probably most people, I think, would agree. So that's what we'll do next episode. Next episode will be the waterfall, which is short, and the Castle of Ordeals, which is pretty short. And then after that, we'll see how much time we have left. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you've enjoyed. I'm having a good time. I hope you are too. And we're already getting pretty close to the end of the game, but that's what happens when you play on like 5 times speed and you know what to do. You get Nuke at level 1. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.